Hi, it's me, Zayfo Beeblebrox, the British Tech Guru. This is the Geiger counter. I'm running into an interesting issue. I've got my oscilloscope going here, and we can see that there is some variation going on. I'm getting 18 volts on the output, which is not quite what it should be. There is variation, so there's something happening. Not quite sure what. Now, looking at the circuit diagram, here we go. I have made a little bit of an error because this sensor here is not actually the BPX 61 that I'm using. This is actually just a straight bit of wire and a metal can, and this is the picture of the circuit. It's got a metal can. You put the radioactive element inside and it reads it like that. Of course, I did my Google search and it came up BPX51 and BC517, so oh yeah, okay, let me build that circuit. That being said, it's still a good circuit and I can probably still use it, but the voltage is way high, and that there we go, that is currently set to give me 27 volts as specified right here. 9 volts and 27 volt output. Okay, so that's good, but it's giving me an 18 volt output, and it's supposed to plug into an Arduino, and 18 volts will blow an Arduino. So clearly there's something else missing there. And I suspect the problem is this, because this is way more sensitive than I'm giving it credit for. Now, what I've probably got to do is change these resistor values about a bit, and maybe put a resistor divider here. I'm probably going to have to rebuild this circuit board here. The 100 nanofarad capacitor is fine. These two resistors need to change. I've probably got a 10 meg ohm preset, probably. Now, the interesting thing is, let's move that out the way, that wire out the way. I have my sensor here. Now, here in this little plastic baggie, see that little thing there? That is a piece of tritium. Well, that is a glass capsule containing tritium, a radioactive element. So we're going to look at this graph and see what changes when I put the tritium near it. And it should be sensitive enough to pick it up. I think I'm picking up a slight change in the flickering here on the graph, but I'm not 100% certain. And I can see a slight flicker there that, now move it away. I'm not sure whether I see more of a flicker with it or less. So that's interesting, but not really conclusive. Now the big problem, of course, is whether it's actually me that's affecting it. Because then if you look, if I take the wires off my oscilloscope and I put my fingers on it, it does actually give an effect. Now if I touch the oscilloscope together, so there's nothing flowing, there's still a bit of variation. So there's obviously some natural variation with the oscilloscope. So, and the oscilloscope, of course, is very, very sensitive. But I'm not quite sure what I'm picking up. And things are clearly not quite right. That's interesting, gone up there. So let's put this radioactive element near it again. I'm really not sure that I'm picking anything up. So there's obviously more work needs to be done and more research needs to be done. I'm a little bit further out of my depth than I would like, but you know, I will happily go out of my depth, and I just want to find out about things and do things and try them. And if they fail, well, they fail, and I have another go. Like I'm keeping on going with this. Quite where things are not going right, I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to do as I said, more research. I'm definitely getting 27 volts. 18 volts is way too high for an Arduino, so I'm probably going to have to reduce the voltage. Whether that will reduce the sensitivity, I don't know. I'm just going to have to experiment. And of course, I can only experiment at weekends. And well, I blew Saturday because Saturday, it's Sunday today. Saturday, I had to take her indoors to see her sister, who's had more of her leg amputated, which is that's rough for her. Anyway, so see you in the next video.